Greetings from Tenerife South Airport, where I'm about to take the longest intra-European flight I've ever been on. It's also at the time of recording the longest flight in airBaltic's network. That's right, we're taking this beautiful A220 wearing the special Estonia livery up to Riga today, a journey of 4,500 kilometers or 2,800 miles.
First of all, welcome on board this A220 on the way to Riga from Tenerife.
This is First Officer Edgars Burtnieks and Captain Kristaps Vilkosts.
So right now we already received a preliminary load sheet, which gives us our expected zero fuel weight, which is 47.905. The max zero fuel weight, which is 28.5. So we're just going to go ahead and insert that, and we are expecting 113 passengers. It was high terrain. Just to the west of the airport, which is Tati at 12,000 feet. So because of the geography here, we can also expect some wind shear on arrival departures, so we have to be mindful of that as well. But yeah, apart from that, weather is good, so nothing too significant today.
And how is it as a plane to be in the flight deck for 6 hours?
Yeah, obviously it's a big flight deck. The fact that we have a side stick helps, so you don't have the yoke sticking out between your legs. So you know, it's just a comfortable seating position. We also have a lower cabin altitude than our counterparts, such as the 320 or the 737, so it's a little more comfortable to breathe.
Do you get a table like on the Airbus?
Oh yeah, for sure. We do have the table.
Very nice.
Obviously, when you're coming from the Q400, you sometimes forget you have it, so you still use a clipboard.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on the 220 for just about 2 years right now.
And you said you were flying Q400 before?
I was on the Q400 as well for 2 years before joining this. I actually started at airBaltic in 2007 as a flight attendant, so I did that for about 3 years. Then I did a bunch of odd jobs in between and then came back here, so this is where I feel at home.
Let's go back and take a quick look around the cabin before boarding starts. I've got one favor to ask. If you enjoy these videos and haven't subscribed yet, it would mean the world to us if you did. Just click that little button in the bottom right of the screen. Same if you want to hit the like button. That really helps us to reach more people and to make more videos like this.
A220 is very comfortable for a passenger, so this is back in the economy cabin, row 20. I mean, first of all, you have the 2x3 configuration, which is fantastic, so you're traveling in a pair. You can be alone over here. If you have maybe one kid with you, you can be in a set of 3. Family of 5 can take up a whole row, and as you can see, legroom is very fine. We walk up here toward the front. airBaltic does the Euro business approach, and in this case we've got 2 rows on the left, 3 rows on the right as it goes a bit further forward. There's no row 1 on the A2 side. As you can see, they'll put a table between the seats. Otherwise, same amount of space, just a different service. Up here, you get all the bells and whistles, and you get food service and everything you'd expect from business class.
Okay, let's get out of here.
That's Echo 50 next to us. Okay. Right now what I'm doing is I'm sending the actual fuel on board as well as the aircraft acceptance. Makes its way to the maintenance department so that they know that the aircraft is serviceable. Yeah, no, it's should be 09019.
Hi.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking. Welcome aboard. Please have all
We're going to go with Tango, and then all these 3 together are almost the same. I calculated from Bravo 2, and the expected weight is 60.4, which gives us Takeoff 2, APR arm, sled foot 2, bleed source engine, NADP non-standard for this. Acceleration 1500, anti-ice all off, and the speeds 39, 40, 43, and the margin is 782. Okay, then a right turn to intercept Tango Fox 0 radial 0901 to Tenar, then to Golf Delta Victor, then Golf Delta Victor radial to Laris, then Sarah, and then Vasto. Expected initial climb clearance is flight level 200, and we have to be above flight level 150 at Golf Delta Victor and above 110R. MSA in the departure sector 14,500. Regarding emergencies, low 18 knots, we'll start for any malfunction. Either one is compelled failure. You'll say stop my controls, by reverses as needed, stop the aircraft set parking brake. B8A, attention captain stations on from ATC Baltic 762 stopping. Once we stopped, we'll identify checklist priorities, red, white, amber. After 18 knots up to V1, we'll stop for major malfunctions such as engine failure or fire, smoke on board, obvious pipe precipitation, anything that will make the aircraft unairborne and safe to fly. After V1, we continue. So initially V1 rotate, positive climb, select gear up selected. At 400 feet, it will be heading half bank, autopilot on. We'll continue to acceleration altitude 1,000 feet. After that, it will be manual speed, alt hold, start the aircraft, clean up the flaps. Then flight level will change, speed back to green dot, and once we're at a safe altitude, first the normal auto takeoff checklist, which afterwards shut down the affected engine and ask for vectors back for an ILS approach, runway 07. Nothing special today, a little bit windy, gusty. That's everything from my side. Any questions, corrections, suggestions?
Just cross check the
Baltic 762, Delta 51, information hotel, requesting clearance to Riga.
Baltic 762 is clear to Riga, Basta America departure, squawk 6241.
See what the air pressure does right now. You get bleed air from the APU, which is starting the left engine currently. You get everything presented to you visually, which is great. Ground, we are in stand number 2.
Tango, buenas tardes. You are clear to Frankfurt via Comba 8 Echo. Initial flight level 200, squawk 6274. Information kilo is valid now with QNH 1017.
Before taxi checklist, APU. Off.
Atlas of the 42 Tango on position 07 requesting
Auto.
start.
ATS wing. Auto.
Lufthansa 42 Tango, startup and pushback approved at your discretion. airBaltic 762, taxi holding point runway 07 via gate Delta 5.
King 1123, stand Golf 25, ready for push and start.
Right set free.
Viking 1123 on stand Golf 25, startup above standby for pushback. There is a traffic taxiing behind you.
Roger, standing by for push. We are cleared for startup only. And we have received the information.
So Delta 5 will be first, right?
Affirm. Viking 1123.
Before takeoff checklist, cabin. NTS. Auto. Auto brake. R0. High gas and info.
Canaria 12, buenas tardes, continúe abandonando
Check
Bravo
before takeoff,
4, a su izquierda taxiway Tango y siga el señalero a su stand Eco 49.
Buenos días, Baltic 762, ready for departure.
Baltic 762, roger. Wind 080 degrees, 15 knots, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
07, clear for takeoff, Baltic 762.
So, if you are ready, I am ready. Your controls. My controls. Throttle on. Takeoff. Thrust. Check. Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Select gear up. Gear up, select. FMS2. Check. Thrust. Check.
42 Tango, hold short runway 07.
Lufthansa 42 Tango, hold short runway 07, we are ready.
Lufthansa 42 Tango, line up on work runway 07. Baltic 762, approach 127.7 is flight.
And channel 663 Alpha for information, wind shear reported 1 mile final plus 20 knots.
Copy, channel 663 Alpha.
Approach, good afternoon, Baltic 762 passing 2700. Baltic 6762, muy buenas, good afternoon, flight Air Golf Delta Victor. Golf Delta Victor, Baltic 762.
Confirm. Check. Taxi. 5 seconds. thank you.
airBaltic 762, now contact Canarias 133.675. Buena tarde.
133.675.
airBaltic 762, good day, you're ready to contact ground, maintain flight level 240.
240 airBaltic.
240 cent. Check.
The routing today takes us northeast over a bit of Portugal, then Spain, Bay of Biscay, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, then over the Baltic Sea before landing in Riga.
So we'll be doing 360 for the next couple hours, and then later on step climb to 3.8 initially, and then later on 3.9 will be our final today.
5 hours.
Another fun little bit this aircraft can do is basically we have a bunch of overlay functions and symbol functions on the map, so we can select navigation aids, VORs, and we can, well, this doesn't have an ADF receiver, but we can also do the NDBs, all the airports. But of course, if you select all of them, you make it a little bit too cluttered, so the company standard is usually this. And then you get sort of the closest, which is also good if for whatever reason you need to divert. You can check the runway length, and there's a little bit of information about the airport, some basic stuff. So you kind of always know what's around you and where you can go if you run into some trouble. So Boeing and Airbus are sort of polar opposites in that sense that they have different philosophies. Boeing is much more hands-on and obviously manual, and Airbus is much more automated. It at times excludes the pilot a little bit. So this is great because this is kind of the best of both worlds. You have all this automation going on, but it always includes the pilot in what it's doing, which is nice. Even when you fly it manually, it still feels like a real aircraft.
This is a long flight, around 6 hours most days. So I take the chance to go back, have a seat in business class, try out the service, and watch the sunset behind us. The food is tasty and the service is friendly. These little screens with moving maps on the A220 overhead panels are very small, but they're better than nothing. Another great aspect of the A220 is how much space you have in the forward lavatory. Even though it's the typical economy seats with the adjacent seat blocked here, just like most others in European business class, this is actually a step up. That's because on the side with 2 seats, you're guaranteed not to have a seatmate. That's never going to happen on an A320 or 737 in Europe with the 3x3 configuration. That's not even guaranteed in the cushier domestic business or so-called first class in places like the US. You'll almost always be sitting right next to someone. On top of that, up here in row 2, you have extra legroom. So even though the seat itself is no bigger than economy, you get a great feeling of space and direct aisle access. That's very rare and hard to beat. To my surprise, they serve a second full meal later on. I guess it makes sense given the length of the flight, but still, I didn't expect it on an intra-European flight. All in all, a very comfortable couple of hours in seat 2A.
So as you can see, we're right now up at 390, which is where we're going to stay until Riga, basically. And we got about 1 hour 10-ish left until we start our descent.
We can climb down flight level 390, all hands fouled, Alpine 3622.
Maintain 380, the next sector will advise.
Code in, yeah?
Maintain 380, Alpine 3622.
I say good evening about the Cash 762 inbound code and flight level 390.
Hello, good evening to you, Baltic 762 identified.
So they recently introduced RNAV approaches in Riga, and not just the regular ones, but something they call RNAV, which means authorization required. That means that the equipment, the flight crew need to be certified, so we need to have some extra training for that. And the benefit of the AR approaches is that you can design them in a manner that you can use for noise abatement purposes and for continuous descent. So basically this is going to be a nice curve, and we're going to be rolling out at exactly 1,000 feet, which is our stabilization gate. So it's less track miles, therefore more efficient, and less noise for the folks that live in the area.
Marshall, good evening, today, 1 Charlie passing 368, climbing 410 to Gimel.
In Air 81 Charlie, good evening, identified. Continuous cleared.
Maastricht, goedenavond, flight 43 November Quebec, flight level 370, inbound guest car.
Hello, good evening, QX KLM 18X, climbing flight level 360, routing toward Arctic.
Good evening, KLM 1X, identified. Continuous cleared. Would you please confirm your passing level?
I'm passing flight level 304, KLM 18X. 拐动，这里是货航2东6，你好。1215吧。
I was kind of on the fence a little bit about this whole fly-by-wire business coming from, fly-by-cable on the dash, but it feels pretty natural. It feels pretty organic. It's, I've spoken to guys who have, previously flown the 320 family, for example, and they all say that this feels a little bit more like a real aircraft. Also, another thing that I love is the fact that when your auto throttle is on, your thrust levers actually move, which is something I don't like about the 320 family, because that just stays stationary. So if you get busy with something and you don't pay attention to your ICAS screen, or ECAM, or whatever they call it on the Airbus, you can still see this physically move, which tells you that, hey, your power just went backward. It accelerates. So NINTA is basically the FIR boundary. Once we pass NINTA, we're going to be talking to Riga already.
airBaltic 762, Riga control of Wacker radar contact, Orvix on Golf arrival.
Any chance to take off airBaltic 762 and RNAV 180?
Stand by. airBaltic 762, direct TCAC.
Perfect,
makes life easier. Alright, direct TCAC confirmed.
Execute.
Soon enough, things get busier in the flight deck as we prepare for descent.
That's going to be 101. Okay.
Good. Alright, so descent more or less at top of descent, give or take. Transition level 60. For the performance, we have slot flap 4, and we ref is 130 plus 5 knots foot in throttle, and go-on speeds are 36, 46, which is exactly what I have. Auto brake's going to be medium, vacate to the left, and taxi route is familiar. It's going to be a 3-degree glide angle down to minimums of 320. Alternate today for us is Kaunas. We need a minimum of, let's call it 1.8. We have 2.5 currently, so sufficient for several more approaches. And autopilot, auto throttle off, landing. I'll give you the controls a little bit after 80 knots.
Sure. Go FMS.
Is set.
Minimum.
320 bar set.
Check. Auto brake.
Medium.
ICAS.
Check. Complete. Check.
Descent to flight level 110.
Descending 110, loading set.
110 set. Final speed, check. Be careful with the vertical speeds. No, check.
RNAV, Triangoli.
Triangoli, Marine back, correct.
Tower airBaltic 762, 18.
airBaltic 762, Lowaker Tower, wind 150 degrees, 10 knots, runway 18, wet land.
Wet land 18, airBaltic 7.
So, like flaps down, back to left. Select. Like flap straight. Flap straight, so. Non-standard, like flaps 4. BS good ambition. Yep. AGB cap.
2500.
Is 1500 set for West Birch. Check. Select gear now. Gear down, select. Okay, follow any checklist.
Landing checklist altimeters.
1019, 2260.
119, so approach to the lab.
4 indicating cabin ready.
Check is complete, good land.
Flat line.
Stabilized minimum 321.
1000.
Contact.
Blue Max 2645, request taxi. 19645, taxi by Victor Foxtrot, holding point 18. Victor Foxtrot, holding point 18. Blue Max 2645. Baltic 762, wind check 140 degrees, 9 knots, QNH 1018.
10,
Checked.
Just confirm the QNH, right, Blue Max 2645. 1018. Okay, 1018.
$500. Auto throttle. Auto throttle. Plus 100. Minimums. $100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Reverse. Check. Edgars. Angelos. Timing. Check. Takeoff. Check.
Baltic 762, taxi via Yankee Foxtrot Victor and 306.
Yankee Fox Victor 306, Baltic 762 as well.
Line up, report rolling. Line up and Wilco Blue Max 2645.
Planning complete.
A beautiful evening in Riga, if a little chilly. airBaltic is now an all A220 airline, but a lot of its old Dash 8 Q400s are still hanging around on the tarmac. Hopefully they'll be headed to other operators before too long. Thanks so much to the crew and to airBaltic for making this happen. And thanks to you for coming along.
You can stand by.
Check. Backpack set. Shutdown check.
No steer.
Is off.
AVU is not armed.
View is on.
Left engine right.
So 4 minutes. Engine
Off. Right engine right.
off.
Seatbelt.
Off.
Beacon.
Off.
Bad flight control test right now. Ready?
In Riga, for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee.